Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be doing the shirt collar, which is divided into two major parts, which is the collar stand and the collar fall. The collar stand is the part that laps on your neckline, while the collar fall falls on your shirt or on your shoulders. So if this is something you would like to know, make sure you watch to the end and ensure you subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell so you get notified each time a new video pops up on my channel. So without further ado, let's go straight into today's video. To draft your shirt collar, you need to take the measurement of your neck. That's the neck circumference measurement, and we'll be working with 16 inches as the neck circumference. First thing you want to do is to place your pattern on fold, as I have done here, and the folded part will be the center back. Okay, it will align at the middle of your back neckline. Okay, so once you've done that, you will need to draw a horizontal line from that point you marked inwards a bit. Okay, so you measure half of your neck circumference. The neck circumference is 16 inches and half of that is 8 inches. So you're going to mark 8 inches here. Okay, but we're not going to be working with just 8 inches. We're going to add 1 inch to that, which brings it to 9 inches. Now I've added this 1 inch because if you look at your shirt very well, there's a point that overlaps on the button. That's your button allowance, the point where you overlap the shirt button line to meet at the neckline. Okay, so that overlapped point will form this 1 inch here, while the neck circumference will be 8 inches. Okay, so I'll just extend my line to mark at that point. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so now from this point we're going to measure 1 inch upwards. This will help us to create a curve on this pattern. Now once you've done that, you need to determine the midpoint of this horizontal line. The midpoint will be 4 inches, which is a quarter of that, of the neck circumference. Okay, now we'll have to connect this point to our 1 inch here. We use the curved part of our ruler or the French curve to achieve this, and this forms our new neckline. Okay, now if you measure this with this little curve upwards, you will discover that this line has been extended by a quarter of an inch. Okay, so you have to mark the point where your 8 inches is. So this now becomes our new center front. Okay, now from this center front we'll just mark the length of our collar stand. Now this is how wide you will want your collar stand to be. I'll be working with 1 inch. You can use 1.25 or even 1.5 inches, but just ensure you don't make it so long so that you can be comfortable while wearing the shirt. Okay, that's why I'm leaving it at 1 inch, and this 1 inch is going to be perfect for the collar stand. Now we'll link these points with my ruler, thereby forming my collar stand. So I'll extend this line I marked here, this 8 inches. I'll extend it a bit upwards like so, and I'll be using this to create my collar fall. So it's important to make your notches at this point you've marked. Okay, first we're making our notch on the midpoint and the notch on the center front. Okay, so this will be our center back, this will be the shoulder or the midpoint, then this will be our center front. Now once you've gotten this, you're going to extend this collar stand by 1 inch. This 1 inch is the same 1 inch we had here, so we're going to bring it forward up here. So I've applied that here, and that's my extension, which will form as my button allowance. At this point, the shirt will overlap on the two front panels. So with this, we are done with the collar stand. We'll move over to the collar fold. To measure that one, we'll just draw a straight line from this point to the center back line. Now, once you've drawn this line, you will determine the length of your collar fold. It's 2.5 on the average. We can reduce it to 2 inches or even 3 inches, depending on how long you would want this to be. So I'll just leave mine at 2.5 inches. So I've marked 2.5 inches here. Now, this is your opportunity to play with this collar fold how you want it. If you want a little curve on this edge, is up to you. You can just mark your curve at this point. And if you want it to be slanted a bit at this point, you can also do that. You just add maybe 1/4 of an inch or even 1/2 inch, depending on how you want it to come out. Now, once you've done that, you will link that point up with the initial point you marked on the collar stand. Now, linking that up, you need to extend this your line to the center back, and you have to apply your 2.5 inches at this center back, then connect it up with a very straight line from that center front you marked to the center back of your collar fold. With this, now we've arrived at our collar fold, but note that most shirts you see, the middle part of the collar fold is usually shorter than the edge or the tips. Okay, so the point that comes to the front is usually longer than the point at the back. So to achieve this, we'll just take away 1/2 inch from this point we marked. Okay, so when we take away that 1/2 inch, we're going to now link this point up with the center front that we marked. So we'll just do that with a curve. Now, this is our collar fold and this is the collar stand. But first, before cutting on fabric, we're going to cut this on our interfacing. Okay, when you cut it on interfacing, you will now cut on the fabric and add your 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Let me show you how this works. I've used my interfacing on the pattern and I've cut it with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all round, and I cut 2 pieces of each pattern. Now place them together like so and sew along this seam allowance I marked. We'll leave out the bottom part of the collar fold while we'll sew the 2 sides and the top. Once you've sewn around the edges of the collar, you just give it a good notch on this side so that by the time you turn it, the edges will point out perfectly. Iron out the seams. Then I'll align my collar stand with the collar fold. Okay, I'll place it on the notched part. I'll ensure the midpoint aligns properly on this part. Then I'll place the second collar stand on it like so and pin them in place. I'll be sewing along the 1/4 inch seam allowance I added on this edge, and I'll be sewing from this curved end all the way to the curve that way and back to the other side of the curve, leaving the bottom part of the collar stand. Once you've sewn along this line, your collar is almost ready and set to be attached on your main bodice. Now you just turn this inside out and you have your collar. Then the last thing to do here is to top stitch on this point. You're going to run your top stitch on this point to blend up the collar fold and the collar stand. Once that is done, this point will be ironed in by 1/4 of an inch and sewn on your neckline of your main bodice. Okay, but we'll not be doing that on this video. In my next video, I will attach this collar on a shirt dress and show you how this is done. I hope this video was helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please tap the notification bell and ensure to tap all notifications so that you get notified once I post a new video. I post videos every Saturday at 8. Please make it a date with me and you enjoy being on this channel. Until I come your way next time, is bye from me.